2 days left in the state legislative session. Tonight, we bring you the latest from Olympia as the House debates the Millionaires Tax.
We have a KREM 2 weather impact alert in place as mountain snow continues to fall ahead of a round of strong wind expected Wednesday night.
And the Gonzaga men and women both played their WCC Semifinal games in Vegas today. The highlights ahead of the championship games tomorrow, coming up on your Night Report. Good evening. Thank you for joining us for the Night Report on KREM 2 News. I'm Sydney Schofield. Tonight, Washington lawmakers are debating the so-called Millionaires Tax, which would be the first income tax in the state. The House is expected to pass the bill sometime late tonight or early tomorrow morning. We'll keep you updated. Senate Bill 5974 passed the House Friday morning after nearly 8 hours of debate. It would allow an unelected state board to remove an elected sheriff from office if their certification is revoked. The Senate approved of House amendments today, and it heads to the governor's office for approval next. The Senate also approved amendments to Bill 58, approved the amendments to the Bill 5855. It's a ban on masked law enforcement. It's prompted by masked federal immigration agents. All right, let's take a break from the headlines and turn our attention to the Outdoor Weather Center. Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo standing by. Jeremy, we are in a weather impact alert for all this wind.
Yeah, we are expecting a lot more of it in the coming days, but we have an active night of weather right now. We'll get to that in just a second, but Wednesday is the big day. Wednesday night, we're going to see winds pick up out of the southwest and gusts to near 50 miles per hour, if not a little bit stronger. Right now, we sit at 35 degrees, and that is cold enough that parts of central Washington are even seeing a little bit of snow. We have that light little band moving through. It developed here in the past couple of hours, and it's right along Interstate 90. May make for some slick roads overnight, and that is going to be something to watch. Could move in here to Spokane. Forecast models aren't really picking up on it, but by tomorrow it is up in the mountains and in a pretty big way. It moves out, and tomorrow we wind up mostly sunny for most of the day. Snow keeps coming down up in the mountains, so if you're traveling to the west side or over into Montana, just know snow is going to be a factor. For the most part, though, things are calmer until that wind starts picking up. Wednesday night is the biggie. We're talking those strong wind gusts lasting through Thursday morning.
Well, after over a week off, it is finally WCC tournament time for the Gonzaga Bulldogs. KREM 2 Sports Director Andrew Quinn joining us now with the highlights of the 12th-ranked Zags matchup with Oregon State. Hey, Andrew.
Yeah, good evening, Sydney. The last time we saw the Gonzaga men was 9 days ago in that loss at St. Mary's. The Zags looking to bounce back against an Oregon State team playing with a purpose. Welcome back to Gonzaga wing Jalen Worley, who missed the last 2 games. Gonzaga came out of the gate hot. Tyon Grant Foster with the block and Braden Smith with the layup at the other end. Zags up 11. Oregon State would get back within single digits on a 3 by Matthias Amar, but Gonzaga would answer back quickly. Adam Miller for 3. That gets the lead back to 11. Then it's Miller to Worley for the bucket, and the Zags led by 14 at the half. Ho-hum, it was another game high 24-point, 11 rebound, double-double for Graham Ike. And Davis Fogel had a nice second half, finishing with 9 points. The Zags are back in the WCC title game. They win it 65-56. With more from Las Vegas, here's our Caitlin Galloway.
It was a balanced offensive attack for the Zags that led them to yet another WCC title game. It was Graham Ike who led the team in scoring with 24 points in the 65-56 win, but nearly every player contributed points, including Davis Fogel off the bench.
We know how much we've practiced, and we know what we've done off the court to become close. And I mean, all season we've been playing like that. So I think, now that we're in March, we're just going to keep that up.
Jalen Worley also returned to the court after an injury and gave Gonzaga a boost.
I was really excited to get back out there. I've been wanting to get back out there for the last 2 games. But yeah, I think the coaching staff did a great job of keeping me engaged and keeping me up to speed with everything going on. So it felt really good to be back on the floor.
The Zags are no stranger to winning in March, and as they prepare for their 29th straight conference championship game, it's clear that winning in Vegas is the standard.
Here at Gonzaga, we win conference tournaments, we go far in the tournament. So yeah, I think it's just what we do. It's what Coach Few preaches, and that's how we work.
The WCC championship game tips off at 6 p.m. Reporting at the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas, Caitlin Galloway, KREM 2 Sports.
And we'll have another check of sports later in our show. Meanwhile, a Spokane nonprofit submitted a bid to buy the Seattle Seahawks. The amount? Under $50,000. KREM 2's Connor McAvoy explains the reason behind it and what the organization hopes their request accomplishes.
When the Seahawks announced they'd go up for sale less than 2 weeks after their Super Bowl victory, eyes were drawn to the price tag. ESPN reports the organization's expected to sell at nearly $11 billion. But when Family Promise of Spokane, whose mission is to prevent families from experiencing homelessness, offered their own bid to purchase the team, they aimed a lot lower.
$43,542. That's a very precise number.
Joe Aders, the CEO of Family Promise. He says the idea of bidding on the team started as a joke, but became a reality once they worked out the number Aders says holds weight in the work and research they do.
That number, 43,542, amounts to $1 for every homeless school-age student there was in Washington State last year.
He says Family Promise receiving money from the team would help them greatly. The nonprofit operates roughly on $5.5 million for their annual budget. Ader estimates $13 million a year could end family homelessness across Spokane County, and $816 million would end homelessness for every child experiencing it statewide.
A 1% share of the Seattle Seahawks would more than double the budget that we have and would allow us to end homelessness for all families that are experiencing homelessness in Spokane County.
A letter of intent was submitted to the Seahawks ownership group and invites them to partner with Family Promise to help homeless families. With the announcement of who gets to purchase the team unknown as of Monday night, Ader says he's not expecting the team to take their tens of thousands of dollars offer seriously. However,
we do hope it opens up a broader conversation with the current ownership and future owners of the team on leveraging the resources and the reach of the Seattle Seahawks for community good.
Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
We have the latest tonight on a dispute between vendors at a gold mining event Sunday in Kootenai County that turned explosive. Deputies say that this dispute started on Saturday. They said that they responded to a call at the fairgrounds Sunday about a flaming backpack, which they found out the son of one of the vendors allegedly had filled with explosives and thrown under the table of the other vendor following that dispute. We spoke to the victim about his experience.
When it was on fire, oh my gosh, I was just like, we got to stop this guy, and I got to get this thing out of here. So, and that's where the doors were, so we both were heading in the same direction. He was leaving, and I was chasing after him. You know, I had to get the thing out of the building.
Now, he denies having a dispute with the other vendor on Saturday, but he does admit that they had a dispute from 2 years ago. Over the weekend, the Spokane Civic Theater announced it's pausing its production of The Hunchback of Notre Dame following concerns about a lack of diversity in the recent cast announcement. Members of Spokane's theater community are calling for accountability from the Spokane Civic Theater, saying a diverse group of people auditioned, but claiming racial bias influenced the casting decisions.
I saw a good amount of really well-qualified POC in the room that showed up. It really makes a lot of people of color in the community feel unsafe in a space like theater that is supposed to be the safest space to create arts.
Spokane Civic Theater says that they're taking feedback into account. They announced they'll host a community forum to help them figure out their next steps. Today, the Shoshone County Commissioners formally accepted the resignation of former Sheriff William Eddy. This officially starts the clock for the Shoshone County Democratic Central Committee's search for his replacement. His tenure lasted 101 days following the resignation of the previous sheriff. As fighting continues in the Middle East, President Trump gave a press conference today and gave an estimate on how far the U.S. is from winning the war, plus how the war is affecting local gas prices. That's coming up right after the break.